got to.
Because I know Andy said, she's gonna want to do that or no problem.
I'm supposed to be picking up my,
She
his
was
car.
involved in,
From Todd was gonna pick
she
him up
went
and
up
pick
to
him up for his
Maryland
car,
for
'cause I was
Christmas
gone.
to visit her daughters.
And,
I swear that's what, I think it was him.
yeah.
She just got home.
And maybe he did come into the meeting, and I just didn't see him, because it
That's
was,
why we came in over on the side where the handicap was, and it was locked. So I said,
it was almost like standing room only. I don't know what the big deal is. I think it's just that you've got all these, the Canadian seminars.
yeah,
All the northerners are
because the door wouldn't open, so I had to come around and open it up for her. Oh, yeah.
very nice.
You haven't heard anything from Ms. Casey, have you?
And sometime during the meeting, before, and I want to introduce one of the other trainers here. Jennifer, she works in our office. And, we have a minute.
Get a minute, maybe even two. Should we do that right after we give Mr. That's like a good window of time, huh?
Oh, here she is.
Until they finish with the hall over there.
Talk about a minute.
Yeah, she's got 30 seconds, yeah.
She's not looking.
Thank goodness I've got a 2015 calendar here.
I have a sick dog.
Is it 2016 on the bottom corner? The bottom? Or no? Gotta throw that out.
Here we go. Good afternoon. It's 2 p.m. and I call this Code Enforcement Board of the City of Tarpon Springs, January 14th, 2016, to order. Mr. Trask, would you lead us in our invocation? Please stand.
Heavenly Father, send down your blessing on this meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. Give the board members a clear sense of duty and lead them to a faithful discharge of the same. Direct them in their deliberations at this meeting so that all things may be done to the glory of thy name and the welfare of the people of Tarpon Springs. This we pray.
Amen. And our pledge of allegiance, our flag is right over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Is he like a, is he testifying today? How is it in the morning?
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bessie?
Here.
Mr. Zableski?
Here.
Ms. Casey? Here. Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Ms. Archer? Here. Mr. DeMoss?
Here.
Mr. Sherry, absent and excused. Mr. Bergman?
Here.
Ms. Dabbs? Here. Thank you. Please, roll call.
Thank you. I would like to recognize a new member of the Code Board today. That's Mr. Don Bergman, for everybody that can't see that far down. And is Don an alternate?
Yes.
Okay, super. You know, if you'd like to take a moment, introduce yourself, and just give 2 seconds about yourself, you're welcome to.
My name's Don Bergman. I've been a resident of Tarpon Springs for 38 years, but recently semi-retired, so I have time to do things like this now. So this is one of the things I'm looking to do to give me some, to fill my time.
Terrific. It's nice to meet you, and thanks for coming. Mr. Trask, you had someone to introduce?
I also wanted to introduce someone to you today. In the audience is another lawyer from our law firm, Jennifer Bondi.
Hey,
Jennifer has been with the firm for a couple of months now, and she does all of our real estate matters for the firm. And she wanted to come and see what a code enforcement board meeting was all about. So she's watching how it's done correctly.
Oh, I was gonna say, we're on, okay. Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to read some hearing procedures for today's work. The Code Enforcement Board hearing procedure. It's the intention of this board to promote, protect, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Tarpon Springs by providing an equitable, effective, and inexpensive method of enforcing various codes within the city of Tarpon Springs. Any aggrieved party may appeal a final administrative order of this board to the circuit court. Such an appeal shall be filed within 30 days of the execution of the order to be appealed. Florida Statute 286.0105 requires any party appealing the decision of this board to have a record of the proceedings to support such an appeal. Board procedure is as follows with each case on its agenda. First, the city presents its witnesses and exhibits, after which the violator is able to ask the city's witnesses any specific questions regarding their testimony. Secondly, the violator is allowed to make a presentation and present any evidence or documents. Then the city can question the violator's witnesses. After both rounds of testimony, both on the part of the city and on part of the violator, each party is asked to give a closing statement, first by the city, then by the violator. After those three steps are taken, this board then closes the public portion of the case to discuss it and to take appropriate action. Before we begin the hearing, we'll have all potential witnesses stand up, be sworn in by the secretary of the board.
You swear testimony you got to give us full truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you. You seated?
In addition, now's a good time to turn off any cell phones completely. In addition, because we're in a special location today, we'll be sharing a dais, and if you are going to present any information, you'll head on over there and talk and kind of go back and forth. All right then. New business for today. Case number 1 was complied. Item number 2, case 15-800000608. Is anyone in the audience today for 908 Riverside Drive? Super. Thank you.
Let me go up there.
Yes.
Yes, I guess that is what she would
Yes,
like. Okay.
because
That's what you would.
Tell them where to go.
Okay, so I was wrong. We're not going to share a spot. We'll have the city up here, and then when it's your time to yes, sir. Go ahead, Officer Gasson.
Afternoon, Officer Gasson, City of Tarpon Springs Police Department Code Enforcement Officer. Reference case 15-800000608. The property address is 908 Riverside Drive. December 1st, I conducted an initial inspection based on a complaint about debris in the yard, furniture, toys, etc. I inspected the property and found furniture was being stored on the property in public view, bicycles, toys, miscellaneous items in public view, trash cans were filled. I had actually spoke to the resident as they were moving out, and I think she was a tenant, and said she didn't care, so she left all the trash. Water was disconnected, so obviously the trash isn't going to be picked up either. There's also some yard waste in the front yard, and now on that date, the house was vacant. Went through the process of identifying the owner via the property appraiser's website. Notice of violation and a notice of hearing was issued, mailed first class and certified to the listed owner via Pinellas County tax collector and the property appraiser. December 31st, the property was posted, and I conducted a reinspection on January 13th of this year, and there was no change. The property is still as it was on the previous date. I do have photographs for the board. It is currently in violation of Section 822, accumulation of trash or debris, 840, duty maintenance of private property, and then 852 for nuisance prohibitions. And
You gotta look at the pictures.
So you're okay with those pictures? You're super.
And I did speak to the gentleman who's here, who's a representative of, they had to conduct an eviction before they could get onto the property. And after speaking to him today, that occurred about the 21st, is when they got their writ of possession of that property and were finally able to enter it. Our discussion today with him is he was going to ask the board for an extension so that he could get it into compliance, and I'll let him present that side. And I have no objection to that.
Okay, thank you. You could go ahead and head up to the microphone. If you'd put say your name and address into the microphone, and then
I'll be right there.
take your time. And then I'm going to ask, did you have any questions
No, none at all.
to the officer? Okay, go ahead
This
and
is-
tell
this
us,
Dirk Fuchs, REO, with Real Estate Advisors of Florida. I'm the realtor for the bank that
Sir, if
currently.
you could state your name again, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Dirk Fuchs.
Okay?
I'm the realtor for the current owner.
so I just want to be clear, you're not the owner of the property?
No, I'm
You
not.
represent-
I'm representing them.
You're representing the realty company?
I'm representing the management company that works for the reverse mortgage company that owns the mortgage.
Go ahead, thank you.
Okay? I can't dispute anything that he has said. We did not acquire possession. Final eviction was on 12/21, and do we need this? And they're requesting 90 days to get the property into compliance. Since this is a, with major corporations, things do not go quickly. And rather than having to come back here again and visit with you all you nice people, I'd rather make this once and done. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the city to the,
My aspect and the city's aspect that they're concerned with after speaking to the gentleman today, I know there's issues inside of the house, which could take an unknown period of time. My concern and our concern and the violations are with the outside of the house. I realize the situation dealing with the corporation would be in 90 days. I don't know if it could be done in phases where at least we could get the outside cleaned up fairly quick. We did receive complaints about the property, but then we knew the issue was going on with the tenant and everything, so we actually held off before we went through because we would have had to do everything twice anyway. So that's my only argument, is if the outside could be done a little quicker, I don't necessarily care how long the rest of it takes.
okay,
Can I ask a question?
please.
Officer, can you give us, from your experience, an approximate amount of time that you would think it would take to bring the outside of the property into compliance?
It's strictly my opinion. I mean,
That's
in
exactly what I'm asking
situations
for.
that I've seen, a couple of guys pulling up with a roll-off can probably have it done in an afternoon. Again, I understand that the corporate situation, sometimes the paperwork trail takes a little longer. The actual physical work could be done in a day, as far as what the city and the code board's concerned with, the outside.
Thank you. No.
Just a sec. What I'm going to ask is, okay, yes, please go ahead.
I have I have a question. You're asking for 90 days. Is that all encompassing inside and out? Or how long realistic do you think it would take to get the outside cleaned up and then you could work on the inside? Because mainly, we're worried about the outside.
Sir, we need you to step up to the microphone. Yeah. All of this is being videotaped, and so we need to make sure that we have a clear record. Thank you.
I need to explain something about banks today. It's not like it was in the 90s. In the 90s, you got two bids. They took the lowest bid, and it's done. If this was one of my properties, I could have this done inside of 3 days. But what we're dealing with here is a corporation that's dealing with an asset management company. I'm not dealing directly with the company that owns the property. I'm dealing with the management company. They have a national servicing company that they use, okay, that they get bids from. You know, if it was, I could get my trash out guy there tomorrow and have it done. But, you know, my problem is bureaucratic stuff. All right, that's the problem I have. So, I mean, I will respond to them with whatever you all deem is fair, because I'm just trying to explain to you that they don't work quick. I mean, I've got properties with them that we sell, they put a 30-day close on them, there's code enforcement, there's water liens, and we're getting 4 and 5 extensions because they're not paying them on time. Reverse mortgages are a different world. It's not your typical Bank of America or Wells Fargo.
I think I'm going to, we'll just keep it right at the topic at hand, okay?
Realistic, then, it could take 90 days for you to get all the red tape to go ahead and get
Correct.
the outside cleaned up.
Correct. But I will respond to them with whatever you feel is fair.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, don't sit down. Wait, let's just finish the questions. You know, the problem is, there's been a complaint, and I don't think the neighbors want to wait 90 days for the outside So if we give you 30 days to do the outside,
I will let them know whatever your decision is. I can't push them to do anything.
right, but
I'm just the realtor.
they need to understand that
That's-
there's been a complaint.
Please. They're in their own world.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions of the city or our violator?
I have no further questions.
Okay, this time I'm going to close the public hearing, and we'll have a discussion amongst ourselves. Or I'd be happy to hear a motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you, go ahead.
I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that at the time of the alleged violation, sections 8-22, 8-40, and 8-52 of the City of Tarpon Springs Code of Ordinances were enforced. The respondent has until February 5th, 2016 to come into compliance, or a fine of $75 per day will be
Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
February 18th, maybe, and $50 a day.
February 5th is not realistic.
It's not realistic. The gentleman said he could have it done in a day.
If it was him doing it, not going through the corporate red tape and bull. He can't have it done in a day.
Or he could, but let's get him in at least 30 days.
You give him as long as you want then, Wanda. That's fine with me. I'm just feeling for the people that have to live there next to this place.
So they did take possession December 21st, and so that, in fact, is in excess of 30 days. And I guess I'd add, their challenges are not our challenges. Our challenges are,
Thank you. Correct.
so, roll call?
Mr. Bergman?
Yes.
Mr. DeMasis?
Yes.
Mrs. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Casey?
No.
Mr. Sebastian?
No.
Mr. Benson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone. That ends our new business.
Yes, sir, it will come in order. It'll be approximately 10 days. And you have until February the 5th, or a $75 day of fine will be instituted. And the order will not be coming to you. The order will be going to the property owner. Yes, sir.
Affidavits of noncompliance.
Oh, my.
You got it.
I move that we accept the affidavits of non-compliance in case 15-800000503. That's it.
I'm going to interrupt. Is anyone present for 1602 Seabreeze Drive? Sorry for my interruption. Go ahead. We have a motion and a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
I move we accept the affidavits of compliance in case 05-800000590, in case 13-200000062, in case 14-800000418, in case 15-800000051, in case 15-800000086, and case 15-800000255, and last but not least, case 15-800000466.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Old business, a request for reduction in fine. Case number 13-800000754, 730 North Diston Avenue.
Can I read the rule because we have a new board member?
Attorney Trask is going to read the rule regarding our procedure for request for reduction in fine. since we do have a new board member today.
Thank you. You just grab it. Okay, this is Rule 5, Section 4 of your Rules of Procedure. After a fine has been imposed by the board and within 60 working days after the affidavit of compliance has been accepted by the board, a violator may petition for reduction of fine. The petition must be in writing, signed by the violator, and must include a copy of the affidavit of compliance executed by the code inspector. The petition must include conclusive evidence showing extreme or undue hardship in the payment of the fine or preventing the violator to come into compliance within the time period established by the board's order. The code enforcement clerk shall schedule the petition to be reconsidered. The code enforcement inspector may present in written form a response to the petition for the reduction of fine. The board shall make its determination based solely on the violator's written petition and the code enforcement inspector's written response. The board secretary shall notify the violator by regular mail of the determination made by the board. No petition for reduction of a fine will be considered prior to the board's acceptance of an affidavit of compliance. Under no circumstances may the amount of the fine be reduced below the costs of the action. Under no circumstances may the amount of the fine be reduced once a foreclosure action by the city is instituted. And additionally, under no circumstances may the amount of the fine for repeat violation be reduced. That was a reading of your Rule 5, Section 4. It was adopted in 2010.
Thank you, Attorney Trask. For the board, the current amount listed, total due, just to verify that, is $17,905.52.
No, $17,675.
$17,675. Okay.
And I'll just take a moment to remind the board that our decision is based solely on the two documents provided.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
do we have a I was wondering, I didn't happen to have a copy of the city's response, but I've been handed one by my friend next door here. Thank you. Thank you.
Does everyone have a copy of the city's response?
Yes.
Maybe that's just what he said. Just making sure.
Thank you. No, really, no, no.
Would someone like to make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion. I move that the fine of $17,675 in the case of citation number 13-800000754 be reduced to $1,767. This reduction will occur upon payment of the stated reduced amount if paid within 60 working days of this order. Failure to pay the reduced amount will result in the original amount of $17,675.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bergman,
Yes.
Mr. Demosis?
Yes.
Mrs. Archer? Yes. Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Zaleski?
Yes.
Mr. Bessie?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have no minutes to approve. Any public comments today? Any board and/or staff comments?
Yes. Alan Plunkett passed away in December. I just, I saw the obituary and I just confirmed that with Bobby.
I had no idea.
in December, so
Alan was a
we're
board
month-
member for years and years, a
We're
very
a month
nice
late.
man. Pardon?
We're a month late then, there's nothing.
Yeah, there was a memorial service. Oh, it was on, for about 2 hours, and I think it was on a Friday or something like
It was
that.
at the CAP Center. It came quickly. I mean, I learned about Cindy, they had,
Yeah.
and I apologize for not saying that.
Mr. Chairman, can I suggest that we send a letter of condolence to
Yes.
this kid and explain that we just became aware of it, unfortunately?
Second.
Of course, thank you. I'm not sure, who would do that?
It's your job,
Just a
Mr.
simple-
Chairman.
Your chairman. I tell you what, I'll make sure I get the address and his wife's name so we can get it addressed properly too.
And my suggestion would be that when the letter is drafted, that it be placed on city letterhead and acknowledge that this is coming from the code enforcement board and not the city. And then, obviously, once it's done, that you provide a copy of it to all of the board members so that they could see that. Instead of waiting to the next meeting, maybe you could get it out sooner than that, if that's possible, Bobby.
It's a very nice suggestion.
And one last thing, you know, me and my labs, they did the stroll in the Christmas parade, and as a result, 1 week later, a city employee, Doug Gemmel, and his wife Scotty, adopted one of our labs.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Somebody got a forever home.
Yep, before Christmas.
Any other
Want a
comments?
Yes, yes, in fact, I do.
Well then, at 2:25, I adjourn today's code board meeting. Thank you. Special thanks to our new member,
Thank you, appreciate it.
Dawn.